In my experience, is it better for short-term rentals or long-term rentals? That's exactly what we're going to be discussing in today's video, looking at some recent news and also diving into my own personal investments. And if you've never come across this channel before, my name's Connor and I have multiple investment units in Dubai. And this channel is all about looking behind the curtain so you can get an insight into what it's like to invest from an investor's point of view. So if you like that sort of thing, do me a favor, help the channel out and just smash that like button. Hit the subscribe if you do want to stay up to date with the videos. But of course, please do remember that this is all based on my personal experience and my opinions. I'm not a financial advisor and I can't give you guys any financial advice when it comes to your own investments. You need to go out and do your own research and seek professional advice before you make any sort of investment. Now, this is something interesting because recently I have actually had, I think it's, 2 units that I've put onto long-term rentals. So we've actually got short-term tenants that want to pay monthly, but we have a long-term contract. Now, overall, this is great for investors and landlords because we actually guarantee the rent in the winter months. Now, it does mean that the rent in the summer months is lower, but it means there's 100% occupancy. Now, the reason why I've done this, I did it for one bedroom in JVC and 1 studio in JVC. I actually still cover all of the costs of it. So I still pay the service charge, I still pay the internet, the DWA, all of that sort of stuff. That's all included in their long-term price, but it means that I have guaranteed rent, which actually, for example, on the unit I just did it on in my studio, JVC, it actually works out that my now net return is 10%. So it's actually slightly more than 10%, whereas my net return last year, or actually the year before that, where I have the calculations because this year isn't done yet, but the year before that was only around 6.5%, 7%. So this has increased my net return by 3%. So I'm very happy with this. It's lower risk, but maybe the same, if not slightly higher reward. So maybe something for you guys to consider. But another angle for this is actually, we're seeing here that Dubai short stay rents sizzle in Q4 2023, and this impacts landlords and residents too. So basically, what this is saying is that more properties are available for short stays, which means there's actually going to be added pressure for increased values for long-term rent. So it's going to push up long-term rentals. And my model is a little bit different, but if you do one of your units that maybe you get one of these payment plans or something like that, and you actually have this increased yearly rental, it means you'll have no fees, no DWA, no internet, nothing. And if they continue to raise, the net return may actually be higher for these long-term rental units. So I wanted to open up a little bit of a discussion in the group. Let me know what you guys think about this, but I think it's pretty exciting. We now have more than one option when it comes to renting out our units. And right now, as we've seen, there are a number of different units that have recently come available on the market for our longer term payment plans. And one thing I wanted to discuss quickly in this video was my views around the increased prices. So I see a lot of comments in our groups stating essentially that the prices have increased and maybe it's not worth what they're now selling for. You know, we had units back a year and a half, 2 years ago, studios in JVC, brand new for 420K, and now they're about 550 to 600. Some of them are even a little bit higher than that. But the way I see it, right, I've just sold one of my studio apartments and I got 550K. So that's what a relatively new unit is worth in JVC. If it has the right amenities and stuff like that, it's worth 550 to 600K right now. Now, if you're paying 600, let's say, or 650 for a unit that's going to get handed over in 2 years, you have to remember that the property prices are probably going to continue to appreciate. I think so anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. Of course, it's not financial advice. But if they continue to appreciate, you're already, the second the property is handed over to you, going to see that appreciation. And second of all, you have the ability to buy these units with around 20% down, and essentially the borrowing of the funds comes from the developer, so you have no risk of the interest rates changing. Now, we are in a high interest environment right now, meaning that if you want to get a mortgage, it's not great, right? Because I'm looking to get a villa, I'm looking to buy other real estate, and to have a mortgage at 5 to 6% is just not really viable for a return, you know, an ROI perspective. But if you have one of these units from a developer, you actually don't have to worry about the increase of interest rates. And of course, we have to understand that for a developer to offer, let's say, an 8-year payment plan or a 5-year payment plan, there's going to be some sort of premium there because they want to make a little bit more money. And this is completely understandable from my perspective. You're not going to get a unit at its exact market value with an 8-year payment plan because the developer would probably just rather sell it to a cash buyer. So that's something we need to consider, and we need to factor that into our research and when we're trying to break down whether or not something's affordable for our own personal circumstances. But another key indication here that you guys have to pay attention to is if you have or find a unit that has some post-handover payment plan. So let's say it's got 2 years pre-handover and 3 years post-handover, or vice versa, or however you find it. You've got to factor in, or this is what I do for my investments anyway, I factor in the fact that after the unit's handed over, let's say, for example, the studio in JVC I just spoke about, the long-term rental, but I'm covering the bills, that's going to net me profit of around 40 to 50,000 dirhams per year. So let's say I have a 3-year payment plan. That's 150,000 dirhams that will come directly to me even before I've paid off the unit. So let's say you buy a unit studio for 650, you then get it handed over. You have 3 years post handover. You're going to get 150K from the renter. That will mean that your cash directly out of your pocket into the unit is actually only 500K. You're now potentially sitting on a unit that's worth 600, 700K, but out of your pocket, you've only paid 500K. This is what I'm seeing, and this is why I absolutely love the opportunity we have in Dubai for these payment plans. Now, they do come with their risk, and of course, I would never recommend even one of my friends or any of you guys to buy something that you couldn't sustain the payment plans, say if you lost your job or something like that, because you don't want to be in a situation where you have to frantically sell, because then you'll be a distressed seller and you'll have to basically sell at a loss, or most likely at a loss. Now, you can, however, sell units before they're handed over. I think you have to pay between 20 or 30% over that. Maybe some developers are 50%. But once you hit that threshold, you can actually sell for a premium even before the unit is handed over. This is something I'm considering for one of my units that I own in JVC, and I will keep you guys posted for that to see if I can turn a profit before it's handed over. There's also another unit that I've bought with a post handover payment plan in Mag City in Maidan, which is a more luxury unit, so it's higher priced, but given the current market environment, I could probably make 100 or 200K on that even before it's handed over. And guys, please remember that everything in this video is based on my own experience and opinions. You guys might experience something completely different. We never know what the market situation might be doing tomorrow, let alone in the next few years. So of course, do your own research and never get involved in anything that will put you in a financial situation that you cannot handle. Okay, guys, I want you always to be as safe as possible in any market we talk about. But with that said, if I have provided you any value today, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.